time to come. And I actually met Baba Glendy in Oakland in February of this year, right before he made a transition to the ancestral realm. And I was in communication with the brother as far as just connecting with him, trying to get information from him, and I also wanted him to come back over for a growth class. And within that, Spirit told me I had to come out here and just connect with the family out here to show respect and also to help continue brother's work.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, right, I've been hearing a lot of Oakland. So now I'm so curious, and I got, you know what I'm saying, I really want to visit Oakland. So do a lot of you from Oakland who are here already know each other, familiar from that area, or are y'all meeting and connecting here?
I believe a lot of us already know of each other out there. You know, some of us are a little bit closer than others, but you know, the community out there is very tight. You know, and people who have similar paths, you know, will be in communication with each other. So for me, I knew a majority of people who came out here already crossed paths with them. So just to come out here as a community and to be able to connect with the Detroit community is definitely a blessing.
Gotcha. And so, how important is that community aspect in everything that we do?
For me right now, it's the most important thing. I started off on the journey by myself. For the most part, I had some health issues I was dealing with 8 years ago, and within that that struggle, I didn't find a way that I can heal myself through Western medicine and in the hospital. So I started to go within and started to learn more knowledge about the conditions and environments of, you know, the urban society that we live in, and definitely knew that I had to make a shift and change to protect myself, but also to heal myself. So I went through the process of healing myself by, you know, tapping in with plant-based foods and natural herbs and medicine, stones and crystals. I'm going to different healing retreats, and through that process, I started to heal myself. And as I started to heal myself, my consciousness and my awareness raised. And for some time, I felt like I was really alone out here. I really felt kind of suicidal because, you know, I didn't really want to be in this realm anymore because I felt like, you know, I was alone. Within that time, I told myself, you know, I need to attract some spirit family, like some people that's on my same frequency, my same vibration. And over my own community, I started to come across people that are like-minded, who had the same path as me. And within that, I said, you know, this is what I need. I need my spirit family. You know, I come from a broken family, a very dysfunctional family. I try my best to stay connected with my family, but within that, I kind of really lost touch with them as I've been on the spiritual path. So just me being at where I'm at now and having more spiritual family around who really understand me where I'm at in my journey right now, who are not judging me or not trying to keep me down in the same paradigm I've already been in, is definitely a blessing. So for me right now, I feel like community is everything. If I didn't have this spiritual community, my elevation and my personal growth wouldn't be where it's at now. And also, you know, I feel like for the global melanated or diaspora community around the world, that this community that we have in America is definitely an influence, and you know, I just want to be a part of helping to shift the cultures on the planet.
That's solid, brother. That's solid.
There's so many things to talk about, but I want to start right with the one that stuck out like the most, because I was having a conversation with my cousin about suicide, right? You know what I'm saying? And the part that I wanted to know when it comes to the entheogens, right? So it sounds like you were already starting to be aware of your consciousness, you were already down the path, and you still had those thoughts, right?
Yes.
So it seems like you're saying that the community and the togetherness is still equally or more so important part of the healing process. You know what I'm saying? So how would you suggest somebody who's going through those types of feelings, you know what I'm saying, overcome them?
I appreciate that question. That was a very powerful question. For me, as I was going down that path, and I never really attempted no kind of suicide attempt, but my thoughts would be like, you know, tell the credit, you know, I don't want to be here anymore, find a way for me to leave this situation. But as I requested that, it wasn't happening, there wasn't no kind of answers for that. So I told myself in there, like, it has to be a reason, a purpose for me to be down here, because if it wasn't, you know, I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through right now, I wouldn't be feeling like this. So within that, I just took some time to go within myself, you know, to see really some things I was going through from the past that I needed to heal from, and to be real and honest with myself. Also, I started to put out intentions of things that I wanted to attract in my life, the changes I wanted to make, and I started doing a lot of personal spiritual work. I started getting more into altar work, through a brother named Street Master Daniel Grills. I started getting into more spiritual rituals by, studying Brother Bobby Hemming and Dr. Phil Valentine. I started to get into more healing work, personally, internally healing work from studying Dr. Sadie. It really started going to a lot of our elders and a lot of our community leaders in the melanated community to try to seek answers. And within answers, I started to see that all these things are within me, and that I have to pull these things about me. So I didn't try to blame nobody for my issues anymore. I started to blame myself. Like this is my own problem, my own issues. I have to figure out for myself. And within that, those thoughts started to go away because I actually wanted to live for something now. I didn't want to just die for anything. I can die for anything, but like Pac said, you can live, or you can find a reason to die for something. You know what I'm saying? So I told myself, if I'm gonna die, I want to die for the struggle of my people. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a purpose and a higher meaning on this planet. So that's what started to pull me up out of those thoughts, and I'm still walking that path to this day.
Oh man, you just set me in for like 22 questions. So we're trying to get it in order. You know what I'm saying? So the first one, so to sum it up, it sounded like what you're saying is the first thing was finding the purpose, and the next thing was working towards that purpose. So that purpose is what fills that void. So then the entheogens can be used as a tool to help go deeper and find that purpose. You know what I'm saying? And then you can come back and figure out what to do in order to fill that void.
Indeed. And it's interesting about the entheogens that I already was kind of introduced to them growing up at a young age. I was going to high school in Sacramento, and there was a lot of hippie, European white men taking the drugs, or calling it like a drug. That's what I would call it, for me back then. And, it was something that was kind of scary for me. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to find myself on this path where I'm, crazy, acting, weird and everything. So it was something I was kind of shunned away. As I started going through my path of healing, through doing the different spiritual works, I started hearing more knowledge from more elders saying that, this is a path that you can go down the hill spiritually and elevate your consciousness. So I said, okay, well, let me learn more about these entheogens. At that time, what I knew about was a mushroom. I didn't know it as a sacred mushroom. I just knew it as, like a magic mushroom, like something you take and you feel good, and it can make you happy or laugh or whatever. But I said, let me do some more research so when I do take this experience, I know what I'm getting into, and I know how to handle it. So, like I said, I started doing a lot of research on plant medicines, studying a brother named Hank Robinson through a video I seen on YouTube. And so, a lot of these things that I'm doing right now, didn't nobody teach me this, and nobody, teach me anything about it. I just had to learn it on my own. But I feel like all the answers that we need are within. So, I started learning more about the entheogens, the psilocybin mushroom first, and I started learning more about the ayahuasca. I started learning more about, this frog medicine. Started learning about the different ones, and I said, you know what, this is very interesting to me. Like, this is something I know definitely can help me, but I'm definitely gonna take my time because I want to make sure that my spirit is ready for it. So, my first experience was through a friend of mine that I actually attracted as one of my first spiritual family. His brother named Sabir. He's out in Oakland. I give thanks and love to that brother because he told me about his experience of tapping in with the medicine. He said it was divine and that he had some healing from it. So he introduced me to a friend of his that had access to the medicine. We got some, we went to a park, we relaxed and hanging out, took some of the medicine, and he parted ways with me. He started feeling good and went on his own path. And I said, okay, let me go on my own path and go back home and see what it's going to do for me. So as I started to feel the emotions and all the things coming out of me, pouring out of me from some trauma I was going through, but also some things that I was elevated to, I was like, okay, let me tap in deeper with this medicine and learn more about it. So the more study and research I did about it, the more that I tapped in, and I'm still learning, still growing, but I feel like I'm at a point now where I can share with the community and, potentially hold space for our people to learn more about the medicine and have experience and just give the community more healing.
Okay, so there's a couple things you said right here. So still learning is wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. That's why they say it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? So you was talking about the entheogens, and you was talking about ayahuasca, and you were saying that you're going to go at your own pace and wait for what your spirit calls to you. You know what I'm saying? So have you tried anything outside of the mushrooms yet, or you just learning about them in order to line yourself up if and when, you know what I'm saying, it calls you?
Yeah, well, actually, I have tried other sacred plant medicine. First one was the psilocybin mushroom, and I started to ingest more of it and get more experience with it. And actually, through my good brother right here, Brother Peace, he had a way to attract the DMT into his experience with the DMT smoke. And as soon as he had experience, he called me and said, it's a brother out here who has a DMT smoke. You're interested, come through and, you can have an experience. So I said, okay. So, I went with the brother and my other good brother, Sabir, and our brother Jovan went to his space and got a chance to try, the DMT smoke. And that one was just straight takeoff. And I wasn't really prepared and ready for that, but I'm glad I got that experience because it was very humbling for me, And so after that, I tapped in with that a few more times. And I said, it's something else calling me, and started doing a lot of research on Mama Ayahuasca. Researched Mama Ayahuasca for maybe about 2 years, 3 years, and in that time researching, I'm like, I gotta feel comfortable for me to do anything with this medicine. I want to be in a comfortable space so I can elevate from it, not, coming in kind of, bad experiences with it. So I told myself, if I want to do ayahuasca, it has to be in a setting with my people, melanated people, a circle of melanated people. And eventually, through community, I started hearing about these melanated circles we were having in Oakland through the ayahuasca. So I said, I need to tap in. So from there, got connected to the people in the community and had my first ayahuasca journey. Towards the end of last year, I had that experience. It was a private setting, a group setting, and it was a beautiful experience. Got a chance to touch that medicine, and it was similar, but it was very different from the mushrooms, but it definitely opened me up to a whole new portal within myself. Also, I had a cactus ceremony out in Mount Shasta, which is a spiritual vortex on the planet out in up north in California. Went to a retreat out there and did a peyote ceremony. So we did a peyote. It was in a teepee and a sweat lodge ceremony, and that was a beautiful experience. And also through the knowledge of the brother I'm telling you about, Hey Ryderson, he was speaking about there's ways you can make your own ayahuasca through this sacred plant medicine called Syrian root and also the acacia root bark. So he gave recipes on how to do it, and I took my time to learn about that, and I actually created my own brew with this medicine that he suggested, and just told myself, I'm gonna go ahead and try this, and I tried it. I didn't think it was going to do anything or work, but it tapped me in. So I got that experience as well. At this point right now in my journey, I say that I'm working towards getting ready for the bufu or frog medicine. I know that's like the like the super speed one on that. So I'm getting myself prepared for that one. And also I had tried the hop medicine. I had a hop ceremony downstairs the other day with my brother Dooley, and he blessed me and cleansed my aura, my energy. So right now I'm just taking my time to whatever ones attracts me, I'm going to tap in. But I do know the sacred mushroom is the most sacred one for me at this journey.
I'm gonna put you on one, and then while we right here, right? The Hape, right? Man, the shaman at Soul Quest had like a special one. Soul Quest is in Orlando, right?
Right.
It was a third eye opener. You know what I'm saying? Off the ayahuasca. You know what I'm saying? He came and hit you with that joint, you
Exactly.
bliss.
Yes.
But learning and still conscious.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I talked to somebody earlier, the difference between these entheogens. Like some people look to drugs, you know what I'm saying? Not these medicines. They look to them for that experience that we really get from what we doing, you know what I'm saying? But they don't get that, you know what I'm saying? Right. But speaking of what you said earlier, I know it's a shift, but you said something that stick out to me and my culture, man. You brought in pop, man. You did it, man. You did it, man.
Right. Well, honestly, I'll be real with you. Pop, his energy and his spirit was the reason why I was able to get over that suicidal state.
Yeah.
I would wake up every day and listen to Pac all day for damn near a year.
Yeah.
And within that time, I listened to all his stories. I listened to all his testimonies and all his struggles and pain he went through. And he was born into the world being a target on his back, from his mother being in the Black Panther Party and him being as revolutionary as he was. So I'm like, if Pac can make it, he can do it and overcome this at a young age and do it. Why can't I? So I still, to this day, resonate with that brother energy and spirit. And yeah, give thanks to the brother for helping me overcome, when I was in the struggle.
I see death around the corner.
Right.
So let me ask you this. This is a trick question. Who's the greatest artist of all time? And you don't have to say Pop.
Truthfully, to me, the greatest artist of all time, I would say, is Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Just because my name, I go by Mikael, but that's the ancient Kemetic way you say Michael.
Yeah. How you spell it?
I spell it Mikael, but there's many different ways you can spell it. But within that energy, that Michael energy, that Archangel Michael energy is on a planet, and it's very relevant as far as, being a savior and a protector for people. And I feel like that energy is definitely on me. And so, I say Michael Jackson, he was for entertainment. He was that angel. He was at a very young age, resonated and captivated the whole world. And still to this day, this man's music is legendary, you know what I'm saying? And can't nobody take that away from him. Since he was young till he, transitioned, he captivated the world. So I say he's the greatest artist, entertainment that I've seen in my time on.
No, that was a good answer, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I said trick question, because I didn't want you to necessarily say Pop, you know what I'm saying? Like you just went a little bit deeper, you know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this, right? With Michael Jackson, pop, hip hop, entertainment, culture, how do you feel that plays a role in life today? And I say specifically for you.
Specifically for me, music and vibration is my life. It's not a day in my life that I haven't went through where I had some music that didn't play, that didn't uplift my spirit. And if I don't hear the music and vibration and some good vibes, I don't know where I'll be right now on this planet. Like I said, Pac and his music got me out of the state of depression and suicide. Where I'm at right now, I learn new genres of music and hear certain music that cleanses my energy and keep me flowing. So the music, the vibration, that's the only thing that is life is, frequency and vibration. Sound and light, is always there, but the frequency and vibration of the sound, that came before the light. So I think that music, the muse, the culture, they say, that's the highest realms is this straight music, this, sound and frequency. So that's where I always want to be at, and that's where I strive to stay in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, and asking you that, right? With the elevated conscience that you have through the work that you put in on yourself, because clearly you've been working on yourself to this point, you know what I'm saying? And like you sense that around you, you pick that up, you respect it, you know what I'm saying? And it's motivating because it lets me know, you know what I'm saying, that this is a good way to go because your vibe come off real good, right? So that being the case, what do you feed your subconscious and your vibrations through the music? Like, what do you do in order to embrace that feeling that you were just explaining?
I try to go with whatever energy or whatever emotion I'm feeling at that time.
Okay.
To try to balance that out. So, I'm not going to say that every time it's going to be the highest vibration of music. I come from the hood, I grew up, in the Bay Area, pimping, disrespecting of the woman, also the culture of materialism, also just a culture of just, living the hood, fabulous life. So, I'm about that, but at the same time, I want to see it on a higher frequency. I want to see it on the highest vibration. So within that, I still, tap into the music I grew up with, a lot of old school stuff, a lot of old school hip hop, a lot of old school R&B. But also, I tap into jazz, I tap into, Orisha music, I tap into, Latino and Cuban and Haitian music, anything that resonates with my spirit at that moment. But if I'm feeling down, I listen to some music that's speaking about times of being down.
Yeah.
but also, you know, within that moment, something that's gonna uplift me too as well. So, you know, it's just a balance of my emotions. If I'm feeling good, I'm gonna play some high vibration music, gonna make me dance, gonna make me, you know, feel good. You know, if I'm feeling like I want to be grounded, I might listen to some chakra meditation, sound healing bowl, you know, as a way for me to stay grounded. You know, whatever emotions I'm going through that time, that's the type of music I try to play. And also I try to play music that's gonna project the reality that I want in my life at that moment.
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of attracting and manifesting some money or some funds. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to the music that's speaking about prosperity and manifesting. If I'm trying to attract a love in my life, go and listen to the music that's talking about, you know, respecting women and honoring women and attracting that love in my life. And then whatever other thing that I'm working on manifesting at that time, that's the type of music I'm going to listen to.
So that music, when it comes to manifestation, seems very powerful. What about trap music?
Trap music.
I had to say, do the set that.
Yeah, you know
It's the dope.
right when I was coming into my state of consciousness and a higher being, that's when that trap music started coming
Right
out.
about that.
So it's not like I'm against the trap music,
Yeah.
but it's just, I know
It
it's a
serves
lot.
its purpose.
It serves its purpose for what it's supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? But through it, it's a lot of programming that goes within that music. You know what I'm saying? It's the beats, it's not on the same frequency as the music was back then. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for the youth and, you know, even for the elders to get, you know, involved in that and nod their head and go to the beat. But subconsciously, what they feeding you, that's something that if you're strong enough mentally, you can either block that and control it and just go with the beat and the rhythm. But for a lot of our youth, their mental is not right for them to block that. So that's why we got a lot of youth now into, you know, killing each other more, into, you know, glorifying, you know, violence, into a lot of other things. But within that, I'm just hoping that these trap artists, these new artists can see a higher level of consciousness, maybe by tapping into these entheogens and having these spiritual experiences and uplifting their consciousness awareness for them to speak about something deeper within that trap music. So, you know, I just have faith that the music will continue to stay on a high vibration, but whatever it is, you know, if it's melanated, if it's our people creating it, I'm definitely going to tap into it and give it thanks because it's all creativity, you know, and I don't knock no creativity.
Yeah. That was powerful, man. Oh man. Now, cause you know, being, you know, behind the camera, I come around a lot of music and I understand its importance and its role. You know what I'm saying? The trap music does seem therapeutic, especially for artists in the studio. But it's the, you know what I'm saying, personifying and glorification and, you know what I'm saying, like you said, that programming. So what do you think we can do to help, like, you know, a warning label on a record won't help, you know what I'm saying? Nobody did that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you let the kids listen to whatever they want, but, you know, so they don't ignore things in the culture, but not take it as a learning experience or something to emulate.
I give thanks for my mom because she put me on many genres of music growing up at a young age. She listened to a lot of Marvin Gaye, Sade, you know, Ozzy Brothers, a lot of old school stuff, but she would listen to the new stuff too, you know. She would listen to pop, E40, you know, Too Short and all that. My father, he listened to, you know, all that type of music, so I had a balance. So when it came to me, I was able to decide from there what I wanted to listen to. And I knew at a young age I always wanted to listen to music that made me feel good, that had a positive message to it. And I was taught at a young age that the difference between positive and negative. So I think that we can teach our youth and show them different genres of music at a young age and showing the difference between positive and negative within music, but also through culture and this, you know, in life, then they'll be able to decipher a little bit easier what that music is displaying to them and be able to say like, oh, okay, this artist is saying this, but maybe this might not be the most righteous thing they're saying, but I'm gonna take whatever positive message I can off that music, you know what I'm saying? And so from there, you know, you're not judging people, you're not, you know, knocking their craft, but you uplifting them to the best that you can with what you hear from them, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would suggest for all parents to do, you know, if you can, tap your youth into different parts of our culture and teach them the positive side of that culture, teach them the negative side of that culture, and teach them that, you know, this is what a good example of what it should be. So that way, they can be able to decipher through life and figure out for their own self, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause you don't want your parents on you all day, every day. I know I did when growing up. My mom, you can't listen to that. You can't. That's gonna make you want to do it more.
Yeah.
So you gotta let your children be free, but you gotta show them the right path before you let them free. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would suggest.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the answer is education.
Education for sure. Yeah.
That, man, well, I appreciate you. I got two more quick questions for you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've been asking a lot of people today, and I wanted to get your opinion on, like, what's your definition of success?
My definition of success is for you to be as successful in whatever you want to do in life on your path. That's with positivity, that you're not hurting nobody, that you're taking care of your family, that you're taking care of your own well-being, and that you're uplifting your people. So whatever way you're doing that, that's success for me. You don't have to be the richest. You don't have to be the most well-known or celebrity or anything. If you're doing work for yourself and your family and for your people, you're successful in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I strive to be on the daily, you know, and I'm working my way up to more successful on the daily, is keep striving to do better and do more, and you'll be successful in life. So that's what I think.
All right. Well, what does the American dream mean to you?
At this point, I mean, it's interesting, man. You know, honestly, I see America kind of crumbling right now with all this COVID stuff going on, with all these different things going on with the money and the currency getting ready to flip. So the American dream's like it's shifting in reality right now. But I know for me growing up, the American dream was for you to be successful, have your family in a rightful position, and also for you to be recognized within your community. And I think that's all we want in life. We want to all be recognized. We want to all be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the American dream is to be in your own lane, being successful with your family, but being recognized in your community and being appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the American dream to me.
All right. And this is the last question. I really like your outfit, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's well put together. You know what I'm saying? So talk about the feather, like how you put the, you know what I'm saying, the medallion, like what does it mean to be, you know what I'm saying, wearing what you're wearing? Like, how did you get to that point?
Well, me growing up, I definitely was born into a world of materialism. You know, I'm coming from Oakland, out in the Bay Area. My dad, he was really into materialism as far as clothes and cars and, you know, jewelry and all that. So he kind of passed that down on to me. And so me growing up, you know, I idolized those things. But I knew it was a reason why those things were idolized. So I started getting into the ancient science and the cultures. I see that in the high ancient society, you know, the priests and, you know, everybody was garbed out. They had, you know, nice things on. But at that time, I didn't understand what those things meant. So as I started to detach away from the materialism and started going to my spiritual path, you know, I started to get rid of all the different material things and the brands, you know, the Jordans and the Nikes and all. So I said, I wanted to do something different, more a part of my original culture. So I started to learn more about, you know, fashions from ancient times, learning more about the stones, the crystals, and the amulets and what they did for, you know, the power and the energy within itself. And I also started to travel more to places. I went to, you know, Haiti, Cuba, you know, in Honduras. But when I got to Ghana, to Africa, and I seen these people in the bush making some of the most unique things I've ever seen in my life, I said, you know what, this is ancient tradition, culture, and this is what I want to represent. So I go on my way now to get, you know, traditional garb. You know, this piece right here comes from Senegal. It was a gift to me from my partner, and it was something I feel like the ancestors brought to me. And ever since then, I had this piece. I'm in relatives from Senegal, and I've been called to go back out to do some spiritual work. This top came from Ghana. I seen it, you know, something in my spirit said, you know, I want to represent that. I want to bring a piece of Ghana back with me, and when anywhere I go, I can represent that. So I try to be a gatekeeper for our culture at this point in my life and my journey. I want to always represent the highest and the best of our people. Whatever I wear, whatever, I represent myself. So this is to represent myself, but also to represent our people and our culture at the highest level. And I think that the more that we all walk with that light, we don't all have to dress the same, but we all gonna have our own different swag and culture. As long as we're doing it in integrity for our culture and keeping our culture and uplifting our people through the way that we present to each other and the way that we speak to each other, as far as like you just complimented me. And I feel like, you know, everybody should have a way that they all are getting uplifted for our people. So clothes is one way that our people in America really resonate with each other, from, you know, shoes, you know, jewelry, cars and all that. But I feel like we did on a higher level and understood the meaning of these things, you know, with the gold chains being the gold being the highest frequency and vibration of all the metals. That's why the ancient pharaohs drawn and endured the gold, you know, knowing that, you know, wearing the all white is something ancestral to cleanse and also to help, you know, keep the spirit light. You know, this feather right here is helping keep my spirit light. It's an indigenous rites of passage for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that I keep my indigenous culture around me. So anything that I have around me at this point in my journey and moving forward is going to represent my culture at the highest level, and me being indigenous to this earth and being a you know, a natural melanated being. Yeah.
Wow.
Man, that joint feel
Wow, that joke fell out. It's like drum mic.
Yes.
That joke, wow. Drop mic for the coach.
For the culture. So that's what it is, brother.
Yeah, that's a bet, man. We good, man.
Yeah,
We
thanks.
good. Tell people how to find you. That's it.
Oh man, so I'm a plant-based chef, a natural holistic healer, and definitely a culture keeper for our people. So you can find me online at Magic L Bay. That's MAGIK ELBEY 33 on Instagram. That's my personal page. Also, like I said, work with these stones, the crystals, and many different amulets. So that business is Exclusive Magic. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Exclusive Magic, and it's spelled a little different. It's XKLUSIVE Magic MAGIK at Instagram and Facebook. And also for my food business, I'm a plant-based chef. In my years of eating plant-based food and transitioning, I have found ways to make the food that we traditionally love in the Black community, but make it all healthy and plant-based. And so, you know, I honor that, and you can find me at Black Seed Cuisine. That's my plant-based food business. That's BLACK, Black Seed, SED Cuisine, CUISINE at Facebook or Instagram. And I'm gonna be uplifting my platforms a little bit more. You know, I'm starting to put myself out a little bit more, you know, to help our people. So you can find me at the 3 platforms. And anybody have questions, information they want to ask me, you can reach me there.
Right.
What's up?
Appreciate you.
I share.
What's up?
Yes.
Righteous.
Glad you made it up here, man.
Oh, man,
Glad you
thanks,
made it up
guys.
here.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I need your help, Mike, too. And then let's get Tellis set up. He's awesome. He did a talk today downstairs.
Yeah, can you take a picture of me and brother Mike real quick?
Bless, I appreciate this opportunity to speak.
Appreciate what you had to say.
Niggas, because I called to get some chicken wings early. I was like, yo, you need to come hard.
Good day, man. You did so good. Yeah, that's good. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we want. What you need it, dog?
That phone's got to be somewhere. My phone.
Hey,
I lost it before the second set of breakout rooms, so like by like 2 o'clock.
About 2 o'clock, my G?
Yeah, I ain't
And you
seen
just
it
looking
since.
for it now?
No, I've been looking for it, but
Oh,
I just,
man.
I mean, I
You
gotta
signed
keep
the paperwork
moving,
like
you
that?
know? I'm like, I'll be back in work.
Oh, yeah. You've been sitting there all this time? Oh, yeah.
Now,
Sorry,
moving
man.